Hi, Matthew Kamanzuli here at CPAC, having a great day today. We're here today with Rachel Wong, the CEO of Women's Forum Australia, and everybody knows Moira Deeming, the wonderful Moira Deeming. So let's get started. What brings you to CPAC, Rachel?
I've been here this morning discussing women's rights and biological reality with Moira Deeming and Sal Grover and Amanda Stoker. So my organisation is a not-for-profit think tank, and we do research, education and advocacy around issues affecting women and girls. And the gender ideology issue has been particularly rabid over the last few years. It's been keeping us very busy, trying to keep biological male rapists out of women's prisons, trying to keep men out of women's sports, out of women's changing rooms and so on.
I think that's some really great work. And Moira, did you enjoy your time on the panel?
I did. It was absolutely fabulous, and I really enjoyed the fact that we had Sal, someone from the left, coming to a conservative conference. The more we listen to each other, the better.
Yeah, it seems to be a bit of a theme, Moira, that you've been speaking about, which is that we're seeing a bit of a changing landscape. We're starting to see that maybe the differences between us are a lot smaller than maybe you might believe if you were to read some of the newspapers. How do you think we can best engage with mainstream Australia and just get everybody to understand that we all want the same things? We might just have some slightly different ideas about how to get there. What do you think?
I think we have to, not be so sensitive about the ways that people misunderstand us, and just keep on explaining what we really believe to people, and stop, crying in a corner if people, think terrible things about us. We have to go out there and show them that they're incorrect.
I think that's spectacular. Would you like to add something to that, Rachel?
I was just going to add, I think it's important to use language that people understand, and obviously that's what Moira and myself have been doing, speaking about women's rights, speaking about biological reality. At the end of the day, we have a culture which supposedly values women, but we're not seeing that when we're talking about the gender ideology movement. And so we're trying to bring it back to women's rights and women's safety, and trying to explain that actually women's rights and women's safety are not being safeguarded in an environment where men are able to identify as women.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. So, Rachel, if there was something that you could encourage people to do, people that are watching, people that are out there thinking right now, what would you encourage the people of Australia to do about the challenges that are facing us, this encroaching, changing, sort of almost unnatural movement that's sort of pushing us around and making us feel uncomfortable? What do you think we can do?
Gosh, there are a lot of things. I think firstly, educating yourself is really important, just making sure that you know the reality of what's happening, the harms that are happening because of this movement. I think it's really important to get in touch with businesses and corporations when they are talking about birthing people or using words that are degrading to women and girls fostered by that transgender movement, contacting politicians about laws and policies. People think that they're just one person, but when all those individual persons come together, then they can raise a really loud voice.
Yeah, I think that's spectacular. And Moira, what do you think people need to do? Do you agree with Rachel? Do you have something else to add?
I do. So what I think people need to do is they all need to join the Liberal Party and pick really great candidates that are going to stand up for the values that they want to see in Parliament, so that we can actually change the law. This is legal, this issue, as well as cultural, but we can have our cultural disagreements, but the law must be fair. And if we want to change the law, the Liberal Party is the only one that's going to be able to do it. And so we need to join the Liberal Party and support them to do that.
Yeah, look, I think that's right. I think the Liberal Party is very much, or at least was the custodian of justice, and a down the middle view on justice, that all people are created equal, and that we all have something great in us and the opportunity to affect our own destiny. I think there's a big difference between law and justice at the moment, and I think, Moira, to your point, that is exactly right. So I'm just excited to be here with two fantastic, I'm going to say young ladies.
That is correct. You are going to say young.
I did. No, and it's really wonderful, and it's just so exciting to see you both here. And I think we're at a place now where it's great to see women standing up for what is, I always thought, common sense. And it'd be nice to see more men jump into the fight as well, because I really, really think we are at a precipice right now, and it's important that we all see that and do something about it. So, Rachel, thank you. Moira, thank you. I think it's fantastic. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thanks, Matt.